I do want to talk about Deebo Samuel for a bit, Amir, because something interesting here is so obviously he signed the massive contract extension with the 49ers, but something that stuck out with me is if he rushes for over 380 yards, he will get $650,000. So that's why I ranked him ahead of Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown, because I'm a little iffy on Deebo Samuel, not because of him, but because of Trey Lance. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm just not sold on him yet, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's a very black and white sort of thing I've started noticing with Trey Lance. Is either people either love him this year or they hate him this year. They just don't see it. So I can't fault you. I can't fault you.
Other than George Kittle, I am staying away from every 49ers player.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Just until I know what's going on there. Like it's a huge question mark. But anyway, the fact that there are now incentives in his contract that keeps him as a rushing weapon boosted his rankings for me, honestly. Because
and also a big one, Tad. Like I don't know if you got this note on your notes. But he also gets an incentive if he scores 3 or more rushing touchdowns too. So it's like he can get up to, I think, $1.95 million every single season. That's a max too. Like he can't go more than that if he meets both of those qualifiers. So yeah, exactly like you said. Like, I mean, the rushing things that a lot of people speculated as to like, this is part of the reason as to why he wanted to be traded and why, he didn't want to be used as much this way. Like he wanted to be a pure receiver in San Francisco. It's like all that's kind of out the window. And he sort of addressed this in his media session when he signed the extension with all the beat writers, that he's just like, you know what, I'm just here to play ball. I mean, you saw that with my mentality. He's just like, me and Kyle, we sort of agree that it's just like whatever it takes to help this team sort of, accomplish the things that we want to accomplish, I'm ready to do it. And so it's just like, yeah, but like I said, because there's a restriction, like I said, it's not going to be as widely used as it was last year. I still see a little bit of that regression. So it's like, I still like him to go obviously very high, which we'll obviously get to in my rankings. But yeah, him finishing at 7 because of those things that we originally thought could be factors as to his fantasy stock dropping. Now it's probably, if not staying the same, maybe increasing him a little bit. So yeah, no, Deebo at 7, it's like I could sort of see that happening, finishing in the top 10 for sure.
No, very fair. So that's the main point I want to push forward, was exactly like what you said, the regression of rushing attacks by Deebo. Yeah, that may, take a step back or something, but I still think that will be a huge part of his game because he has so many incentives in his contract and everything. So Deebo was a interesting little tidbit there.
I'm very surprised that you don't have Mike Evans in your top 12 to finish within the top 12. So I was curious as to if you have reasoning as to why that is.
100%. So let's look at Mike Evans, first couple games last season, right? So week 1 against Dallas, 2 points. Week 4 against New England, 7 points. Week 6 against Philly, 2 points. And now I know people are going to be like, well, you're just cherry picking here. But here's the thing is, of the last 8 weeks of the season, he posted less than 15 points 6 out of the 8 weeks. So that's my whole thing of like, I understand that Mike Evans, he's boomer bust.
Sure.
Potential. Now that was Mike Evans last year. Now people are going to say, well, what about Mike Evans this year? Well, I honestly think that the Buccaneers offense honestly is kind of cannibalizing itself because you have Russell Gage, you have Kyle Rudolph, you have Tyler Johnson. Out of Minnesota. Yes. So you have Tyler Johnson, you have Brashad Perriman, you have Chris Godwin when he comes back. So I'm just afraid of.
Is Perriman still with Buccaneers? I thought he left.
I will look that up. No, he's still with the Bucs.
Okay,
I looked that up right here. So it's just I think again, but that's what I mean of like how many receivers does this team need? Of just like how many guys? And so I'm not saying Mike Evans is going to be a bust, but I'm just saying he is going to be a touchdown dependent heavy receiver, and I just hate those type of receivers where if not even from like a expert standpoint, from a fan standpoint, that is the worst feeling in the world, is when you are standing there watching Red Zone. And I say standing because I am standing in front of my coffee table, be like, come on, Mike Evans, and then goddamn Chris Godwin gets the touchdown on a slant, and your whole afternoon is ruined. So I don't trust Mike Evans. If he doesn't get a touchdown, he's gonna bust.